When did you stop becoming Billy Purser?
I stopped. It's funny because no one knows me as that except friends from high school. And when someone calls me Billy, I know, where it's coming from. My wife, my kids, everybody knows me as Gary. I've been Gary for, 35, no more than that, probably about 40 years.
But
yeah.
you did have a couple
But
of
I
name
was.
changes.
I had a cool name. I had Johnny Apollo, your blue-eyed soul brother in the front row. Put a little slide in your glide, dip in your hip, bump in your rump. Bless my right on rock and roll soul. Light my candle, make me hard to handle. I would go through all this kind of stuff, and I did all
Sounds
that
like
crap.
a porn star, but
Yeah, Johnny Apollo. Well, it was a movie called Johnny Apollo in 1930s, something like the early 30s. And my teacher at school, I'm pretty docile. He said, I've got a name for you. I wanted someone to use this name, and I think you could live up to it. And I said, what is it? And he went, Johnny Apollo. And I was like, okay. And I did. So I was that for like 2 years, something like that.
and then your musical career, did that have to slow down or end when you did go into radio?
Yeah, it ended. I sold my drums and haven't owned a set since then. I sit in with people every now and then. I play a lot of guitar now, and I own about 5 guitars, but
So you might be working on a solo album now that you...
actually I'm doing one with, it's not solo, I'm doing it with Nathan Witt, who's from Columbus area, and Nathan and I are doing something for a charity that we started in this area for catastrophic situations for musicians, because these are artists. These are people that you see them, you take them for granted, but
They're making pennies anyway.
they're making
Unless-
pennies, and these guys, and you see, I've used this before, but it works. When you see a performance artist who builds a statue of Mary in elephant dung, getting a corporate grant of $50,000, you wonder, this guy's a prankster. The artist is the guy sitting in the corner playing guitar, making, as you said, pennies. And when something bad happens to him or his family, he has nothing. And so we're gonna try to rectify that. If he's messed up, needs some help, and breaks some fingers, can't play, then what if we could pay his rent for 6 months? To a player, man, that's a great thing to have. Got a place to live. I can still play.
Legacy. Your legacy, what would you...
No, I'm not gonna do a pun. No. My legacy is that you can go into radio. You can actually talk to people. You can put your real name in the newspaper, and people won't drive you crazy because. And guess what? I've had my real name out there. No paparazzi has followed me. You can be a nice guy. You can, be who you are, basically, and do it for 45 years, and you can still come out of it alive. I'm not sure how hard it is now, but at least over my period of time, it was possible. I'm happy to have that opportunity.
What is a favorite character you ever did?
My favorite character of all time? Gary Burbank. Because that's not really me either. No, I don't talk like this all the time. No, I guess it's the one I'm doing at the time. I don't know. You don't think in terms like that. Like, who's your favorite? I enjoy doing Howlin' Blind Muddy Slim, 60-minute Jelly Belly Toe Jam Man, because he is I get to play and do music with it. That's kind of fun. But in the same, I like Earl Pitts. I like doing Earl. Earl is like
Earl will continue on?
Yeah, Earl will continue. He's on in about anywhere between 150 and 200 cities all the time.
Longest
syndicated comedy in probably ever in radio. I can't think of anybody that ran longer than him. There may have been funnier. There may have been other stuff, but I don't know. No one's gone longer, I don't think.
And you've heard of all the imitators. Columbus had one.
Mm-hmm,
I mean, it's just such an easy, smart...
Oh yeah, it's cool.
that's-
It's cool with me. I don't, if you can do it, do it. I've had guys do it. The best thing that happens in the imitator thing, and I've surely had a lot of my material fly out the window and end up coming back in my face from bigger places, but it's when that person calls you and says, you taught me so much, and I'm sorry, but I borrowed this. When someone says that, that's perfectly fine with me. I mean, I can't copyright it anyway. And I just had a friend do that not too long ago, and he'd never really said anything, and I'd always kind of resented the fact that he had done it and was in my backyard. But then when he said that, man, all is forgiven, everything is great, But it's good to hear that. I mean, the same as Gary Owens was my mentor, and the first thing Gary Owens ever said to me on the phone was, he called me one night, he says, "You stole my name." I'm like, but then he said, I have never seen an interview with you where you didn't mention me and how much you respected me, and I had mentored you. And so I took that to heart in my own right. I thought there are people going to borrow from you, and that's okay. As long as they remember where they got it and pay proper proper respect to the dame. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to kiss the ring, nothing like that. I don't want your lips on my ring, but proper respect.